Good morning, students. Continuing with the chapter number 4, Atomic Structure. The atom can be divided into 3 subatomic particles: electron, negatively charged; proton, positively charged; and neutron, which has no charge on it. So, starting with the discovery of electrons, Sir William Crookes in 1878 performed an experiment to investigate the electric discharge through the gases. He designed the discharge tube called the Crookes discharge tube. When high voltage current, about 10,000 volts, was passed through the discharge tube container at a low pressure, about 0.01 to 0.001 millimeters, Crookes found that the end of the tube opposite the cathode started glowing. This showed that some rays were produced from the cathode and had moved from the cathode towards the anode, causing the gas at low pressure to glow. He named the rays as cathode rays because they were generated from cathode. In 1897, a British scientist, J.J. Thomson, while working on the properties and constituents of the cathode rays, showed that cathode rays consist of negatively charged particles called electrons. He did several experiments with the discharge tube to show the properties of the electrons. He kept an object in the path of the cathode rays and observed that the shadow of the object was formed at the end opposite to the cathode. This proves that the cathode rays travel in a straight line and cast a shadow of the object placed in its path. Then he kept a light paddle wheel in the path of the cathode rays, and he observed that the paddle wheel starts rotating. From this he concluded that the cathode rays consist of a stream of fast moving particles. He applied an electric field in the path of the cathode rays and observed that the cathode rays got deflected towards the positively charged plate. From this he concluded that cathode rays are made up of negatively charged particles called electrons. Properties of electron. Electrons have a definite mass and electric charge. The nature of electron is independent of the nature of gas taken in the discharge tube and the material of the cathode used in the discharge tube. The mass of an electron is 9.1 into 10 to the power minus 28 gram, or 1 by 1837th of the mass of an hydrogen atom, which is already the lightest element known. So that means the mass of electron is negligible. It carries 1.602 into 10 to the power minus 19 coulombs of negative charge, which is considered as 1 unit negative charge. So the symbol used to denote electron is E minus or E0 minus 1, where minus 1 stands for unit negative charge and 0 stands for mass. Now, after the discovery of the electrons, we knew that the atom is electrically neutral. So, to balance the effect of the negative electrons, there have to be some positively charged particles which are equal in number to the electrons to neutralize the negative charge of electrons in the atom. In 1886, a German scientist, Eugen Goldstein, proved the existence of the positively charged particles known as protons. Goldstein performed an experiment by using the discharge tube containing a perforated cathode. Perforated means having gaps in between or spaces in between, so as to allow the anode rays to pass through it. When a high voltage, about 10,000 volt of electric current was passed through this cathode, and air inside the discharge tube kept at a very low pressure, about 0.001 millimeter of mercury, a faint red glow was observed behind the perforated cathode. This showed that some rays were produced from the anode and moved from the anode to the cathode, causing the glow behind the cathode. He named these rays as anode rays containing particles, now called protons. Properties of protons. Protons have a mass 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 24 gram, which is equal to the mass of hydrogen atom. That means mass of proton is 1837 times the mass of electron. It has 1.602 into 10 to the power minus 19 coulombs of positive charge, which is equal and opposite to the charge of electron. It is denoted by the symbol P plus or P1 plus 1, where plus 1 stands for unit positive charge and 1 is the mass of the proton, which is 1 AMU. AMU means atomic mass unit. Now, after the discovery of electron and proton, many years it was thought that only two subatomic particles are present in the atom. But some studies made the scientists to discover that some other particle is present in atom, which is having a mass but no charge for the stability of the atom. So when the studies were done on helium gas, it was found that it has two protons, but its mass is 4 AMU. 4 atomic mass unit. That means some other things are present in the atom which are contributing to the mass of the gas. Mass of an atom was much higher than the total mass of protons. So this fact was taken by the scientist, and in 1932 James Chadwick, he discovered this particle, subatomic particle neutron, which has no charge but has a mass. Properties of neutrons. The mass of neutron is nearly same as that of the proton, 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 24 grams. It has no charge, so it is neutral subatomic particle. It is denoted by N or 1N0, where 0 stands for no charge and mass is 1 AMU, atomic mass unit.